Greetings Virgo, hey, welcome to your August reading with me. I hope you are all safe and well wherever you are listening to this from around the world. Now as we move into August, we move into the Lionsgate portal, the 8-8 energy. This is when the sun and the star Sirius are rising and coming together in alignment, which projects an energy portal down onto Earth. Sirius is in the star constellation of Orion's belt. Some of the things that this can manifest or open for us at this time, especially if we wish to focus on it, are love and strength, power and money, because that's what the number 8 can represent. It can anchor more love and abundance in if you focus on the number 8 and the Lionsgate portal at this timeline when these energies are coming down to Earth. It can also be a time for radical healing and reacquaint you with your raw, light passions and love in life. And it's a time for you to love yourself unconditionally. Now, interestingly enough, when I looked into a little bit very briefly for you about psychic messages, the energy of love was coming up as if there is an offering of love, or for some of you, I felt it was more like a reconciliation. So if there have been people you have been separated from, or there have been disagreements, there's a possibility of reconciliation in this month of August. Bear in mind, I am doing this reading in early July, so some of you will pick this reading up from then, and this energy will be alive and active from the time you choose to listen to the reading. So therefore, if you listen to it later, or even after August, it's also still relevant for the words that are said. I tend to find that whenever you pick a reading up or you listen to something that's been put out there and projected for you to hear, it's relevant, whatever the timeline is. So yeah, some of you will get a reconciliation, there will be a healing, there will be an offer of, possibly like an apology, or a welcoming back into the fold if you've felt as though some of you have been out or locked out of something or kept away from something. And I'm thinking too, for a lot of you, this may involve family. If we look at these 3 decks of cards we will be using, this is the Rider-Waite, this is the Energy Oracle deck, and this one is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So we will start with the full tarot first, and we will see what's coming in for Virgo for August 2021, but also active from July. We have the Two of Pentacles. It did come in on its side. Sometimes that means the activation is not fully there yet. This can be about juggling things, a lot's going on, and juggling your time, and especially money too. Can also mean a little bit of travel. Sometimes local travel as opposed to maybe overseas, but we do see an ocean in the background. What is for Virgo in the month of July and August? The moon up there with his full face on, and possibly an ecliptical energy pattern we're calling in on. That is the 8 of Cups. It's about walking away from something. Then we have the 4 of Wands, which is very much a happy card. This is about happy homes, feeling loved, moving into a happy home, feeling as though life is just wonderful. Sometimes celebrations, things like anniversaries, birthdays, a wedding to go to, or an offer of a marriage or proposal or an engagement, a celebration of the birth of a baby, blended families coming together. It's a very well loved card, and again this one can sometimes be referring to holidays, as can this one. So some of you may be on holiday in this month of July or August. Next out was the Ace of Wands, another magical card. Everyone would love an ace, and the Ace of Wands is beautiful. This is very much about offers of ideas and thoughts. This is the creative sector of life, our passions. It can also be referring to job and career, or ideas or projects that you're working on. There's new concepts coming in, or new support, or new offers. A wonderful card to behold. So utilize that however it most befits in this month of August or July. The 8 of Cups is often walking away from something that was unbalanced. Interestingly enough, both of these cards are referring to balance, and we see the background here. The boats going up and down the waves, At one point they're up on the crest, then they're down in the bow. So it's like balancing up and down, yin and yang, black and white. So because these first two cards are balancing something or asking you to take balance into consideration, it's something for you to focus on and meditate with for this month of August coming up. This is emotional balance and relationship balance, and this can be more finance balance and jobs and your time. And what is taking your time? Is it all work, no play? Or is it the other way around? Are you seeing the truth in situations? Because he is the juggler, and the juggler is sometimes the magician, so he sometimes can hide things from us. He's so deft of hand that sometimes we miss the things in plain sight, or we misconstrue them. Could this be you've misconstrued something within a relationship that you either didn't see it was coming, or you have overseen it, or missed the obvious, or missed what you perhaps needed to see? Whatever that's going to mean for you in particular, there does feel as though there's a degree of walking away. But as he walks away with a wee bit of sadness, he's literally walking into this happiness. So perhaps you're leaving something behind that needed to be left so that you could experience more happiness and freedom, or a change of place where you live even. Some of you may move away from a home environment that you are sad to leave, but it wasn't that balanced for you, or it just wasn't working in your favor, and you end up here, which also propagates the Ace of Wands about this whole new event or journey or opportunities coming in life. The Four of Swords can represent taking time out, a little bit like that Eight of Cups, and it means contemplation, thinking about a situation. What is it that's coming to mind? Sometimes this means that your mind has been overworked, or you've been thinking worrying thoughts, like, why has this happened? Why do I feel this way about this situation or this person or this relationship? Why have they treated me this way? It's not fair. I haven't deserved that. That's what that can actually represent. It can also mean needing to take time out to rest, to relax, to recuperate. So if it's all work and no play, balance that up with a little bit of rest. It can mean going on holiday, to a retreat with another person, and like a weekend retreat even. I see definitely a lot of you Virgos are doing something where you will be going away or spending time away from your normal routine, sometimes into a holiday house. This can also be a holiday home. It can also be renovating the home, spending money on your home, new ideas like buying a new home or doing it up, renovating it. This can also mean an operation, and you may have already booked it in. It could have to do with the head, shoulders, neck or upper body area, and sometimes it's for beauty regimes, or things like teeth might need fixing or doing as well. Sometimes that card can reference headaches too, and you might need manipulation in your spine. These all jumped out. We won't use them all. We'll just shuffle a couple and pull some of them. The Justice card is the card of karma, and it's reversed. So is this a reversal of karma? Look at that, the scales. The other thing this card talks about is bringing the scales back into balance. And if it's up the right way, the scales are well and balanced. It's often the card of Libran energy as well. And when it turns up, it's usually about justice playing right in your life. This card can come in when you see things that take place, such as a divorce, and this is the final court hearing or the final propositions put forward, and then you get the documentation. So the Justice card can sometimes have a bit of a sadness behind it, but it's a freeing. It allows you to be freed up from something. And again, we come back to this walking away from something over here and feeling a bit sad about walking away from it, but that somehow it was something that meant to happen and to bring balance back into it. But of course it was reversed when it came in. Given that it's in the reverse situation, and I think it originally came sort of more slightly over this card, it feels as though for a lot of you, you feel as though there is something a little bit unjust that's going on in your life, an unjust situation. It could be work, or it could be a community type thing, but I think a lot of the time this comes back to relationships, because karma often deals with relationships. Sometimes it can be a health related modality, but I'm getting the feeling that because it came sort of while we had been talking to or meandering around this card here, which does deal often with relationships, that it's tied into that somehow. Now, because it is a karma card, it doesn't always mean it's your karma. It might be someone else's karma and they're dealing with it in the wrong way, and you've been brought into this protracted situation. However, sometimes we just end up going through things and they do affect us. It generally means that something is working its way through. It's a little bit like being unwell, and you've got to go through that whole grotty feeling unwell bit before you get to the turning the corner and starting to feel better. I think that's what the reverse justice card is a little bit like. It's as if you've got to go through whatever it is that's happening, even though it might not be your main priority, or it might be involving you when you feel you shouldn't have been brought into it. But eventually it will play out, and I think the waters will smooth, and whoever it is that their karma is mainly involved, it will help you to move forward, either without their dragging you down, or with something that gets brought into the light so that everyone else can see. Perhaps you were blamed for something that you didn't do, or it was because of someone else's actions that you've ended up in a situation, and you've been waiting for this to come about, and maybe it's beginning to take shape now. I do still think, though, that there could be a separating of the parties involved here, probably because you've had enough of it more than anything. Let's see, this one I think was sticking out. That's the Star. And I think I've picked them upside down now, so I am going to put it up the right way. The Star gives beneficial protection to all other cards around it. And it's also, the Star is about your spirit guides, it's about angelic helpers. So this is very much a message from Spirit, if you like, coming in to support you and offer you nurture and protection and support. You may also find that you receive messages through dreams, or through synchronistic events or objects or messages or people that come into your life. You may see angelic white lights, you may see or feel or hear your own spirit guides as well. Some of you may receive new spirit guides at this time. Now, I can't help but see the analogy again of these two water jugs, which is all about balance. Your very first card was balance. The second one was things that might be out of balance, and we have now a major arcana about balance. This card can also refer to physical balance, such as diet and health modalities. It can refer to needing to take more water on board to hydrate your body, or to release toxins out of your body. Again, Virgos, this is time for you to really think about how you want to take the second half of the year forward. As we move ahead, you're being given the opportunity to bring a lot more balance into something. What is it that you personally need to bring balance into your life with? The Nine of Wands is about feeling as though somebody or something may have been, just pushing up in the background, like barreling you and barreling you into a corner, as if to say, don't you push us around, or you listen to our ideas. And you're going, no, I know what I'm thinking is right, or I know what I have is a good idea, or I know that I have these thoughts or feelings or ideas that should be heard. So this is about standing your ground. Now, it can be around career or finances as well. And this is the long duration event because it's the number 9 in the cards. Don't give up on something you've been working on, especially if it's related to concepts around money or career or ideas or projects or engineering something. It's worthy of standing your ground and putting your insights and your ideas forward and not giving up. That's kind of the meaning of that card. So I think we will stop there for those, and we will come to the next deck, which is the Energy Oracle deck. This is for Virgo. My goodness. Man holding a heart. I did think about love in the first instance, the Thinking Man and the World card. Now, interestingly enough, and I don't know why I've done this, I'm probably the only reader who does, but when this comes out, I always think of a Libran person, and it's gone on top of the Justice card, which I also think is often a Libran energy. So this thinking man could be involved in this Libran card, the Justice card, about something that's going to take place, or an event, or bringing the scales of justice back into place. It could require that you need to really put your thinking cap on to make these things happen, or to make the shift come around, or to understand fully what they are trying to tell you, or the direction they're taking you in. He also holds a beautiful clear quartz crystal in his hand, and I think of that as the manifesting crystal. Now I have one just above there. It's a giant big manifester, so I'm going to put it on there. That helps positive manifestation come in, and that's what we were talking about at the beginning of the reading when we mentioned the 8-8 Lionsgate portal for the number 8 with power, money, abundance. So all of those things, and time for healing and reacquainting yourself with your raw, your light and your passion, all of those things can be helped with a manifester such as this, because it's a conductor of energy. There's the heart, the love I was talking about in the beginning. He's offering his heart up in the guise of love. For some of you, this could be new romantic love. For others, it's the connection to that Four of Wands, which is the representation of family love, or harmony, or balance, or, you know, the gift of love in your life. This could be you yourself representing love to others, or holding your heart open for compassion, or for empathy, or for nurture, or to help or support yourself or others as well. The World card over here is your oyster. This card always to me means something about there's opportunities in the air, and you really have to be open to grabbing them and receiving them and just being open. If we are closed, we won't see what's coming for us in the way of opportunities. Attachment, if we are attached to something, we find that we can be a little bit down, and that's a little bit like this 8 of Cups over here. It took a long time for this person to understand the need to walk away because they were attached to the situation or the person. Attachment also causes us to be out of balance. We can be attached to alcohol or cigarettes or drugs or caffeine or relationships or toxicity or abuse or trauma. We can be attached to anything, and when we are, then we are out of balance. So yet another card for you to really ponder upon. What is it that needs to be brought into balance for you guys to free you up and to give you the opportunity to experience the World card at its fullest? Oh my God, look at that. Boom. This is a really important reading for you guys. There's an opportunity here, and I see in the background the moon and the stars. Maybe there's the Sirius star in there, the Orion's belt in the background, and this opportunity to focus on this 8-8 portal, and there's an 8 in the card and a 4, and really utilize it to bring about more empowerment of balance into your life. That is really, really beautiful. It ties the reading in, it makes it very potent and very powerful. I will just shuffle these cards here, the Animal Oracle deck. We'll see what comes in for you, just a couple from here for Virgo for August, to see what's in store. Well, a couple have come out. There's a few here. Perhaps I won't use them all, but we'll take them from the top. Horse Spirit, freedom is yours. These cards are so glorious to look at. They just set my heart alight. They really, really do. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Wow, beautiful. Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. You've also had that message before as well, when we saw the 4 of Swords and it said take some time out, guys, to revitalize your body in particular, and to reassess your thinking perhaps around certain projects or ideas too. The Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. and the Coyote, trust in divine detours. So I've given you all of the ones that came out in the end, all with beautiful messages. Some of you may find that these animals come into your life in the month of June, July or August, and you might get a real connection to them. You may see them synchronistically within TV programs or books or in a movie, or someone may talk about them, or you may physically see some of them yourself as well. Take on board whatever it is they're saying. There is freedom in the air for you. The abundant universe will provide, Virgo. Get into that. Really feel into that message. This is the manifesting stone of abundance over here, and the thinking man is deploying that through his ability to think a strategy out. The brown bear telling you to take a bit of time out, like he does when he goes into winter hibernation. And the electric eel, bring your ideas to life. And that's a little bit like this 9 over here, when we said don't give up, stand your ground and be firm about these concepts and ideas and projects you've got. And then the Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours. And we do have detours in life, and sometimes they take us to the finest of places, and other times they teach us the biggest of lessons. Now there's one other deck for you that I will just very briefly do. These are wellness cards by Dr. Libby. I'm just going to shuffle them briefly and pull one out for you to see a wellness message for Virgo for the month of July and August. What is it that would benefit them from seeing, hearing, understanding and meditating with? And just so that I'm not able to pick whichever one I look at from the top, I will just cut the deck of cards and we will take from there. Emotional. How do you want to live? So I will put that down. We will zoom in on it. Imagine for a moment that resources were abundant. How would you like to live? Perhaps you'd like a slower pace of life, a different climate, more variety, a different structure to your day, or to be doing something entirely new. Once you get clear on this, what are some new thoughts or tiny steps you could take today that could begin to move you in that direction? So what a wonderful card to finish your reading with, this whole opportunity to conceive of something different in your life about how you really want to image it as you move forward into the second half of this 2021. And they've given you this idea of taking one little step at a time, because each one singular step of the journey goes towards the greater overall picture. So there we are, Virgo. I really, really liked your reading. I think there's a lot for you to ponder upon in here and to act upon as well. Lots of beautiful cards and messages that came in. Thank you so much for joining me. Please sub the channel and hit the notification bell, and I love it when you leave your comments as well. So much love for August and of course July if you're tuning in right now as well. Thank you everyone. Namaste.